the role that jobs play in truckers' lives is vital. And again, I'm a very data-driven guy where men deal with joblessness very, very poorly.
Yeah.
By the numbers, we spend between 40 and 75% of our time on the computer playing video games or doing other things. Our substance abuse goes up. Our volunteering in the community goes down even though we have more time. And we generally spiral into antisocial and self-destructive behaviors. Now, this is not something that's experienced by women in the same levels. Like women in joblessness, women actually are more adaptable. They're more likely to go back to school and volunteer. They don't spend all their time on the computers the way that we do. So there's a real problem. And the purpose of universal basic income is not meant to be a job replacement for those truckers. Because right now, those truckers, and when I talk to the truck drivers, so I've been campaigning for president now for a number of months, so I spend a lot of time in Iowa, which is a really huge trucking hub. And you go to them and say, hey guys, you worried about robot trucks taking your jobs? They're like, there's no way a robot could take my job. Like that's like totally matter of fact. They're like, this is not something that they worry about. Their attitude has transitioned from that somewhat to we should make robot trucks illegal. Or we should make it so that a robot truck cannot displace me. So that's been a big shift because a year ago they were like, it's impossible.
The idea that an American would say we should make a robot job illegal, like we should have some laws that keep you from being free to use robots for your business instead of a person. Like you should be forced to hire, like mandatory unionization or something. That sounds pretty ridiculous.
Well, that's where a lot of them are, Joe. So only 13% of truckers are unionized. So 87% are like Dennis, where they're small independent firms. And a lot of them actually bought or leased their own trucks. So they took out tens of thousands of dollars in the equivalent of a mortgage to get this truck. And so if they have to compete against a robot truck that doesn't stop, that's like, that's existential level stuff.
Yeah.
And right now, truck drivers have time use regulations where they cannot drive more than 14 hours a day. So you literally cannot compete.
Right.
Because the robot truck's just going to keep going hour 15, 16, 17, et cetera. So these guys some of them make really good money. Like some of them make $70,000, $75,000, $80,000. It's one of the higher paying jobs for men without a, college degree. And so if you look at what they're facing, it's not so crazy that they're like, hey, you need to make the robots illegal, because for them, what is the next best economic alternative if the robot trucks take over that job? Like, what are they going to go from?
Yeah, it's not crazy for them, but it's a crazy idea to tell a company that they can't do something that's more efficient, safer, and probably economically more viable.
Oh, yeah. Again, the savings from automating truck driving are estimated to be $168 billion per year. And not just labor savings, but also equipment utilization because the trucks never stop, fuel efficiency because the trucks can daisy chain together so there's less wind resistance, fewer accidents because right now truck accidents kill about 4,000 people a year. So you'd probably save lives. There's a very, very powerful argument for the fact that we should be trying to automate this stuff.
Yeah.
But on the other side, you have literally 3.5 million truckers who rely upon this for their livelihoods to support their family. And there's going to be a lot of passion, a lot of resistance to this. Anyone who thinks that truck drivers are just going to shrug and be like, all right, I guess I had a good run, I'm just going to go home and figure it out. That's not going to be their response.
Right.
It's going to be much more likely that they say, you need to make these robot trucks illegal, or they're just going to park their trucks across the highway, get their guns out, because a lot of these guys are ex-military, and just be like, hey, like I'm not moving my truck until, I get my job back. And there'll be a lot of truckers in the same situation.
You really think that would happen?
Well, I think
they would block the highway for their job back. That's less efficient, kills more people.
So I was with these truckers in the truck stop in Altoona, Iowa. And Joe, they have really, really difficult jobs. I mean, I don't know if you knew truckers where you were, but they have this 14-hour window where they're allowed to drive their truck, and they drive most of that. So they have these other 10 hours, and they sleep in their truck. Their trucks have a bed. They go into the truck stop. They take a shower. There's a laundry. And they're like plugged into this machine of this truck and the industry. They spend days, sometimes weeks, on the road.
A lot of them listen to podcasts. Probably a lot of them listening right now.
A lot of them listen to podcasts, and they're doing it primarily because it's a more lucrative opportunity than the other jobs that are available to them. A lot of them have families that like supporting their families. And so if you say, hey guys, like, time's up for this way of life, most of them, I think, will not. Actually, I look at how much they like endure. There's so much endurance baked into that job that I think most of them will be like some of the guys you and I know, where they're much more likely to like implode or like, do something where it's self-destructive than they would be to take their truck and, park it across the highway. But you're talking about a population of hundreds of thousands, including many small business owners. And small business owners have a different mentality very often. Like, I've been an entrepreneur. I'm a serial entrepreneur for like last 20 years. Like, you're an entrepreneur. And if you saw this happen, you might say, hey, I'm adaptable. I'll figure it out. Or you might say, hey, I think I can do something about this. Like, if I park my truck this way, like, that's going to cause such havoc that it's, it's like hundreds of millions of dollars worth of economic harm very, very fast.